We are going to install a Kenwood. If you look here at the model number, it's a DMX47S into a 2009 Dodge Ram pickup. And you can see we've got the stereo and the things that came with it. It comes with wiring and so on. We had to buy a wiring adapter. We had to get a set of mounting brackets. We had to get this little box for steering wheel control to convert that. And then this is a USB unit to allow that plug-in USB in the dash. And then that's the trim that came with it. So it's quite a bit of stuff here. We're going to try to make all this work and do an install. We'll see how it goes. This is the vehicle that we're going to install it in, and I'll show you inside the panel we have to pull off. This is the panel that has to come off. You start by taking this rubber bottom out of that tray, and you can see there's a couple of Torx screws underneath there. And then you have to pop it off with, there's just little clips that are holding it from there. We've got the two screws out there. It turns out there's another screw that's behind this little plastic panel here. So you take that panel off, get to another, they're T20 Torx screws. So we're going to pop that off and take that screw out, and the panel should come off. With that little panel off, you can see the screw that's hidden behind there. Okay, with the panel pulled back, this is what it looks like. It looks like there's 4 screws, one in each corner on this, that need to come out to remove the stock radio. So with that slid out, this is what's behind there. These are the connectors that we need to undo. There were 7mm bolts in each corner to take out. So that you know how to take these off, there's a little lever right here. You can see I'm going to push it. When I push that, it unclips both on that and on this guy right here. When you push this, you can see that little guy unlatches. These ones have the same thing, but it's on the bottom of the connector. And you push this little guy in like that, it unclips on that and this. So there's those 4 connectors on the stock radio. The adapter harness connector fits into the factory connector, so that's good. What you'll notice though, there's a blue wire here that's power antenna, and there's no corresponding wire in the factory connector because this car doesn't have a power antenna. It just has, all you see on this connector is there's speaker wires, power and ground, and then there's these 2, which I believe are steering wheel controls, which we're going to double check. I did find an orange and tan here, which I think might be the illumination wire, basically a dimmer wire that signals the stereo when your headlights are on to dim it a little bit. I'm going to check the schematic for that too and see if that's that one so we can connect it. Normally the orange wire is on the basic connector and you just wire it that way. This one's a little different. These 2, it looks like one is radio antenna and one is satellite antenna. Turns out the stereo is just a little bit too big to go in that hole. So it's going to require a little bit of trimming of the plastic along here in order to get the stereo to fit. We're doing a fit check now. We did a little bit of trimming and cutting in there. We haven't actually screwed it in. We just put the faceplate back on and put the car trim in there. It looks like it fits really well. I'll pull it off. You can see where we trimmed it. So to get it to fit right, we had to trim about, I'm going to say 1/8 of an inch. You can see up this part right here, it's plastic, and we had to trim about 1/8 of an inch along there and then up to here. Same thing down here. We had to trim, you can see some of the sort of shavings, but trim about 1/8 of an inch there along here and then up here. Not so much in the front here, but just sort of right down there. Trimmed off about 1/8 of an inch top and bottom, and it fits right in there. Now this stereo, you're going to notice, is really short, and so what's nice is it doesn't even go in far enough to hit this metal bracket. Some people were having to bend that and mess with that bracket because their stereos are longer. This one really didn't. I will say though, that this bracket here, there were little tabs that bent up a little bit and bent down a little bit from that one, but you can just vary. It's really thin metal. You can just bend it by hand really easily out of the way. And so, at least for a short stereo for the Kenwood, that's all the trimming that was required, is 1/8 of an inch top and bottom, and it fits perfectly. This is the tool that I use to trim it with, and you can see it's one of these little vibrating saws. I used one with pretty fine teeth, and what happens is, with all that movement, it starts to melt the plastic. So if I had to do it over, I'd use a little coarser tooth blade than I had, so that it cuts it a little quicker and doesn't get so hot. And then to clean it up, I just have one of these little rasps that you can put into your drill, and just went in and kind of cleaned up with that. Both of these, as you can tell, are Harbor Freight things. So I think this little rotary tool on sale is like $9, and the blades are really cheap. And this is a little set, rotary set I got from Harbor Freight. It was probably like $5 for like 5 of these things. So they're just pretty simple tools, pretty inexpensive tools you can use to do the trimming. We took this little panel off of here, and it had a power port on it. So we removed the power port and put this on, which is a USB, and then this will plug in to the stereo USB, so that he's got a fitting for it right here that's going to be in the dashboard. So this will go on like that, and it'll give him a USB right there. We just mounted the microphone right here in this little cubby with just, you can see, just had to drill a hole here to get the jack through there, and then put a screw here, and it's mounted there, so you got the microphone right where you need it. This is what it looks like with all the wires connected. You can see it looks a little messy because there's a lot of wires, but so these wires from these two connectors connected into the factory harness through an adapter, and then you can see this is the video wire. It's going to go back to the backup camera, and it's connected to this backup camera trigger wire. They call it the reverse wire. This one I wanted to show you is the ground. This one is supposed to be the emergency, they call it the park switch. What we did is we just grounded that, and so we got it grounded here, where this used to go to that power port. There's a ground wire there, and then this is where we picked up the switched ignition power wire from that power port, because it was a keyed power port. And then down here you're going to see we wired in the steering wheel controls. It has a set of dip switches, and since this is a Dodge Ram and a Kenwood stereo, you set them to a certain pattern. And we wired all that in, and it turns out when you hook it all up the way that it's supposed to, it only comes back to the stereo with a single wire. And it's this guy right here that says steering wheel remote input. It's just one wire going into the stereo. And then you can see there was an adapter for the antenna and pretty much wires for everything else. The one we didn't hook up is, this is for Sirius XM, which we don't have that module to go with it. But all the wires are connected. Now it's just a matter of putting it into the dash and cleaning up the wires, getting them bundled and out of the way. I think it's gonna go fine. So we zip tied that module back there against that structure piece, and then these wires fit neatly. When you slide the stereo in, they fit just right behind it. And then you can see the other wires we zip tied up here to get them out of the way, and it goes down to the USB and those other parts, and then we're ready to put all this back on again. Okay, we've got it in and it's working. It's in standby mode right now. The screen that you see on there is one that we were able to upload our own screen, so it's a Dodge logo to fit the truck. And then he's going to use steering wheel controls. And that goes to Bluetooth. But try your steering wheel controls on the volume once it's playing and see. Yeah, there's steering wheel controls adjusting the volume. So those are working. Stereo's working. The Bluetooth's working from his phone. So I think we're in good shape. You can see this is where the microphone is. And then we still need to hook up the backup camera, but we've got wires fed down. You can see them down there. We're going to run those out to the back for the backup camera. But the stereo's in and working. Looks very clean and super nice.